Hola hola, it's Fabi and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so glad that you stopped by. So for today's video, I thought I'd do a Valentine's Day makeup tutorial for you guys since it's already February and I was really dying to make a Valentine's Day video. Now this is my first ever makeup tutorial, so please bear with me. Since you're already here, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. That way you guys can join my little YouTube family. If you love this video, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to click the post notification bell. That way you guys can get notified every time I post a new video. If you want to know how to recreate this makeup Valentine's Day look that I have on, don't forget to stick to the end. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. First things first is washing my face, and I've already done so this morning with my Yardley London Oatmeal and Almond Bath Bar. Now I do have combination skin, so this really helps exfoliate my skin. Second thing is going in with my moisturizer, my all-time favorite Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream for extra dry skin. This really helps it stay hydrated after I've washed my face because it kind of leaves it a little dry. For primer, lately I've been using the Urban Decay Quick Fix priming spray. Now I've loved this spray, so I think I'm going to go buy a bigger bottle because it really hydrates my skin and leaves my makeup flawless. For foundation, I use my L'Oreal Paris True Match in the color Nude Beige. Using a Real Technique flat angled foundation brush, I'm just going to grab my foundation and just dot it until I cover pretty much my whole area of my face. Now, I do only put one little small tiny dot on my nose because I don't like directly putting the foundation on my nose because I don't like it to stay cakey afterwards. Since my nose is pretty dry and pretty oily at the same time, it tends to leave it very cakey, so I only put one tiny dot. With my brush, I'm just going to spread it out and blend it into my skin as much as I can. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. I will go ahead and just dot a little bit on both of my eyes and just blend it in. By the way, I did not mention this in the beginning of the video, but as you can see, my eyebrows are already done and I just use my all-time favorite Anastasia Brow Wiz to create the shape of my brows. Using my Real Technique sponge, I am just going to be using it to try to blend my foundation into my skin as much as possible and trying to get rid of all the streaks that my makeup brush caused on my foundation and skin. Now, I'm just going to be lightly dabbing it and pressing it onto the crevices of my skin. Since I don't use my brush to blend in the foundation on my nose because, like I said, I don't want it to be cakey afterwards, I just use what's left over of my foundation on my sponge to kind of just blend in the excess or just the leftover foundation from the sponge onto my nose. Now, I know a lot of people like to put on their eyeshadow before they do their foundation, but I personally prefer to put my foundation on before I even get started on my eyeshadow. For concealer, I use my Holy Grail concealer, which is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the color Neutralizer. Now, I love this concealer. As you can tell, I'm almost finished with it. It does not crease on me because I have a lot of lines underneath my eyes, and it really helps with my oily skin. So I just apply it in a triangle form underneath my eyes, on my chin, as well as a little bit on the bridge of my nose and on my forehead. Going in with my Real Technique makeup sponge once again, I'm going to be using my flat side of my sponge and just dabbing it and pressing it on my concealer to blend it out. I will be using the excess from underneath my eyes to blend some of it on top of my eyelids to use as a pre-primer on my eyelids, and I will also be using the excess of my forehead and whatever is left on the sponge to pretty much just blend more concealer onto my nose to make it look like if I have more foundation on it than what I actually do. To hydrate my lips, I'm just going to be using some Carmex lip balm. I usually use Vaseline because it's what works better for me, but I left it downstairs in my car and I was too lazy to go grab it. So Carmex will do. So my recording stopped in the middle of me recording, but as you can tell, I've already started baking my face and I've also contoured my face. For baking, I just utilize the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Loose Powder. I absolutely love this loose powder to bake because it really absorbs all of my oil without drying my skin. For contouring, I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit in light to medium. I just utilize the 3 symbol method. And I used a small angled brush to go down the bridges of my nose. For my eyeshadow primer, I just utilized the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is my all-time favorite because it does not leave it botched, and I just utilized my finger to just dab it on. For eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Pro Palette. I am going to be grabbing the eyeshadow called Chic and utilizing a flat and fluffy brush. I am just going to be dabbing it and spreading it all across my eyelids. It does not have to be built up, just a light layer will do, kind of like an extra primer. The next shade that we will be grabbing is the shade Innocent. It is still a light pink, but a little bit darker than the shade Chic. And with the same brush, I am just going to be applying it to my crease. Now, it is a very, very light color, but I'm just going to be using this as a base to kind of pack up another color that I'm going to be utilizing later on. But I am just going to be building it up until I see more of the pink hue pop on my eyelid. Going in with my old reliable self-made Anastasia eyeshadow palette. This is a very old eyeshadow palette, but I absolutely love it and I always find myself coming back to it. I am going to be utilizing the pink champagne shade in this palette, and I am going to be just using my finger and just dabbing it on both of my eyelids. I am going to be building it up from my inner eye to my outer eye. I am not going to be putting a lot on my eyelid as of right now because later on I'm going to go back in with the same shade and press some more of the color onto my eyelid. I find that by using your finger whenever you are messing with glitter eyeshadows works best than utilizing a brush. Now going in with the shade Blossom, it is such a beautiful light pink shimmer shade. I am just going to dab it onto my brush using a fluffy brush, and I am going to go ahead and dab the excess off. Now I'm going to be utilizing this shade to place it on the outer corner of my eyelid onto my crease and just build up the pink on my eye. I had to stop here and eavesdrop downstairs because I heard my boyfriend talking to my dog. Going back with my Tarte Pro palette, I'm going to be grabbing the shade Mod. It is a beautiful deep red with a shade of pink, and I am going to be using the same fluffy brush that I utilized with my other pink color, and I'm going to be applying this mainly on the outer corner of my eyelid and my crease as well. I'm basically just building it up on top of the pink that I first utilized to make this shade a little bit more pink instead of a red color. And I'm just going to be fanning it out on the corner of both of my eyelids because I want to make this look into more of a cat look. And I want the corner of my outer eyes to be a little bit more pointier, so I'm just going to be slightly fanning it out and building it on top of my first shade. Also going to be blending it in towards the center of my eye. Once I've built up that color to what I want it to be, with my finger once again, I'm going to be packing it up on top of my lid and blending it more towards the outer triangle of my eye where I put the Mod shade. In the same palette, I am going to go with the shade Treasure, and this is going to be for the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to be utilizing my finger once again because I couldn't find my brush, and I'm just going to be dabbing it in. Utilizing a fluffy brush, I am just going to go in to clean up all the excess of my eyeshadow and all of my baking powder. Now I'm just using a blush brush right now because I left my other brush in my car again. For my bottom lid, I'm going to go back with my darker mod color, and I'm going to be utilizing a pointed brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and start blending in that shade on the bottom of my eyelid to the outer triangle of my eyelid. And I'm only going to go halfway with it. Going back with the shade Blossom and the same brush, I'm going to be applying this color to the first half of my lower eyelid, and I'm going to just blend it in with the darker mod color and my inner corner color, which is the color Treasure. For lashes, I'm going to be utilizing the Kiss Blowout Lash in Pixie, and I'm going to go off camera to apply these. I'm just going to go in with my Urban Decay Big Fatty Mascara to apply a little bit of mascara to my real lashes. For my highlight, I'm going to be utilizing the Anastasia That Glow Kit, and I'm going to be combining the shade Sunburst and the Dripping in Gold to create my highlight. I'm just going to be applying it to the higher areas of my cheekbones, onto my temples, on the lower end of my brow bone, and also a little bit on the bridge of my nose and on the tip of my nose. For blush, I'm going to be going in with my Anastasia Blush Kit Gradient in the shade Vegas, and I'm just going to be applying it in between my contour and my highlight and just blending it in with a blush brush. For lips, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Vice Liquid Lipstick in the shade Trivial. I love this tone because it is more of a natural pink than a Barbie pink. I do make sure to moisturize my lips before applying this lippy because it is very drying and it prevents from leaving any cracks. This shade is kind of shimmery, so it is perfect. To conclude this look, I am just going to be using the Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder, and I'm also going to be setting my entire face with the Urban Decay Setting Spray. Now this is it for today's makeup tutorial look, and this is the final and completed Valentine's Day makeup look. It was so fun and so easy. Now that you're here, don't forget to head over to my social media and go follow me, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos such as these. Don't forget to tune in weekly to see more videos. I will see you guys on the next one.